From the WIA, this is the weekly national news service originating from VK1 WIA.
Now Cuba to provide parts to hams and will manufacture 160-metre radios. According to the Cuban news service CAN, that nation's Ministry of Informatics and Communications will soon start providing ham radio operators with the components and parts for their equipment. This from stock that has been left idle for some time. Pedro Rodriguez, president of the Cuban Amateur Radio Federation, told the press that the first 600 units are ready for delivery. He says that by using them, his nation's ham radio community will be able to assemble new stations or update those already in use. But that's not all. During the recently concluded 8th Cuban Ham Radio Federation Congress, a prototype of a domestically designed transceiver was shown. With the brand name Kaiguran, the gear was designed by several specialists and will be manufactured at one of the Ministry of Informatics factories. Jose Tancrero is one of the hams that worked on the creation of the radio. He told the news service that it runs 20 watts on 160 metres, which is the legal for Cuban third category ham radio licence holders. By adding modules, both 80 and 40 metres can be covered as well. The Cuban Amateur Radio Federation has over 5,500 members, many of whom are involved in both severe weather watch and emergency communication operations. Over to you, Brian.
Silent Keys. Unfortunate news about the tragic death of the 1996 Young Amateur of the Year runner-up. The RSGB news website carries a report of the death. The GB2RS article says the Society is saddened to report the death of Ben Clarkson, G7WHO, at the tragically young age of 27. Runner-up in the 1996 Young Amateur of the Year, Ben gained his licence on his 14th birthday. An enthusiastic member of the Reading and District Radio Club and a scout leader, Ben will be sadly missed by all who knew him.
International news. NZ Radio Spectrum 0809 review and an 09 to 12 outlook. The New Zealand Ministry of Economic Development, or MED, has published the Radio Spectrum 0809 review and 09 to 12 outlook. This new interactive annual report and business plan reviews the policy, planning and operational achievements from the past year and focuses on the business development for the next 3 years. Key outcomes planned in the 2009 to 2010 year are strengthening spectrum planning and forecasting capabilities, implementing a risk-based compliance framework, and enhancing our business systems to encourage industry self-help. And in other news, on Wednesday, November the 25th, the FCC issued a notice of proposed rulemaking seeking to amend the Commission's amateur radio service rules to clarify certain rules and codify existing procedures governing the vanity call sign system, as well as to revise certain rules applicable to the club stations. According to the FCC, almost 80,000 licenses have replaced their... almost 80,000 licensees have replaced their sequentially issued amateur radio call signs with vanity call signs since the program began in 1996.
Now, the IARU are saying that the WRC-12 preparations are well underway. WRC-12 will commence in January 2012. Now, the year 2012 seems far away, but it's only slightly more than 2 years from now. Preparations within national telecoms administrations have been underway for some time. Regional telecoms organisations have been meeting to discuss the WRC agenda items and to arrive at regional positions on each issue. IARU Secretary Rod Stafford, W6ROD, said that every IARU member society capable of doing so should take the initiative to liaise with their own administration and let the administration know what the IARU's position is on those WRC agenda items that influence the amateur radio service. The most significant agenda items are implementation of the radio location service in the range of 30 to 300 MHz, possible allocations in the range 3 to 50 meg to the radio location service for oceanographic radar applications, software-defined radio systems, the effect of emissions from short-range devices, and to consider an allocation of about 15K in parts of the band 415 to 526.5 kHz to the amateur service on a secondary basis.
Thanks for that, Brian. And now it's to operational news, special events, and on-air contest dateline 2010. The 2010 Jock White Memorial Field Day contest is on Saturday the 27th of February 2010 and Sunday the 28th of February 2010. Saturday at 1500 hours NZDT until 2400 hours NZDT, and on Sunday 0600 hours NZDT until 1500 hours NZDT. Updated contest rules and other operating information will be available from the NZART website. And the 2010 RSGB Commonwealth Contest, Beirut, the 13th and 14th of March 2010. 1000 hours UTC, that's on Saturday, until 1000 hours UTC on the Sunday. It's on all bands, but CW only. Considered to be one of the more gentlemanly contests that has been in existence since the mid-1930s, apart from the individual performances, there is a team event based on individual nations' participation. And at this stage, we have no particular word in from our contest people for any WIA involvement next year.
March 21-22, John Moyle Field Day. Dennis Johnson, VK4AE, reminds national WIA listeners and readers the National Field Day for all bands HF, VHF, UHF and above, emphasising portable operations, is only a few months away. Now we've got some audio from Peter Harding, VK4OD, the RD contest manager, with his final report for this year's Remembrance Day contest.
Hello listeners, I'm Peter Harding, VK4 Oscar Delta, RD contest manager, with my final report for this year's Remembrance Day contest. Now that the contest is over and all the logs are in, and having checked them all, I am able to present the winners with their certificates. I'll not go through all the individual results, as that would take up the entire broadcast. Details for all their availability will be covered towards the end of this report. I received a total of 310 logs compared to 314 last year, with the overall points totalling to 42,356 compared to last year of 36,342. This year we received 21 logs from foundation calls, and it was only 16 last year. This year we also were grateful for 3 logs from ZL, and once again just 1 log for the receiving section. This year saw the introduction of the operating section for World War II original transceivers, and we had 2 entries for that one. It is no surprise that VK6 once again will get their name engraved on the RD trophy as the winning state for 2009. This year I have issued certificates to the first 3 place getters, and by now they should have received their documents. By the time this goes to air, I anticipate that a comprehensive listing will be December-January edition of AR magazine. Or you can simply log on to the WIA website, click on the contest link followed by the Remembrance Day link. This will take you to the RD page, and at the bottom of this page you will find all the information required. Until next we meet, this is Peter Harding, VK4 Oscar Delta.
Thanks for that, Peter. And Peter does a mighty job each year with the RD contest, puts an awful amount of time and effort into it. Now on to special event call signs, beacons, DX and net advice. The VK7 RSC 10-metre beacon has recently been relocated and is now on the air from Allan Vale campus of the Tasmanian Skills Institute. Launching its 10 watts of CW into the air is a half-wave dipole, and reports are that it's been heard in VK2 and VK6 already. Listen out on 28.267 MHz for this particular beacon.
And in DX, word that F6AUS will operate portable FG from Les Santes, Guadalupe until March 2010. Look for him to be possibly on 160 and 80 QSL via HF6AUS, his home call sign.
From the WIA, this is the weekly national news service originating from VK1 WIA.